Hi, this is Teresa, and I'm having a little technical difficulty today, so hopefully I've done the right thing this time. Alright, so far it looks right. I thought it looked right before too. So if you see a false start on this, that's what happened. Okay, so like I said, I am using the Petal Park bundle to make paper flowers. So you've got Petal Park photopolymer stamp set and then the punch that it bundles with. And then they stamp and punch out like this. Okay, so some of these I have stamped with Memento ink, the images, and then punched them out. Some I have just, this I stamped with Bermuda Bay and maybe some Calypso Coral because I did the two-step. And then some I have colored in with Saffron ink. And so now what I'm going to do, I've put coffee on both sides of everything and crinkled them up. So I'm going to sort these so that I can acclimate myself to what I'm doing, get organized. On the Rach and Bella Facebook group, that is the topic of conversation, is getting organized. It doesn't look like this one got scrunched. And some of us can't function unless we have some type of organization in our life. So I appreciate you stopping by to visit and to keep me company while I'm crafting. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. I'm very proactive about answering questions, or try to be. That's weird. I have very few of these. I only have 3 of these. That is weird. Okay, so real quick, I need to, I wonder if I dropped them on the floor. Here's one on the floor. There's one. Then there's another little one. Well, that's all I see. Okay, I think this is enough to get started though. So let me get these wet and crinkle them. There's something that is very satisfying about breaking down fibers in cardstock. And of course this craft paper is even more sturdy. So it can be a little painful to your fingers. Speaking of painful, I was thinking I should start a post thread about crafting accidents. What kind of crafting accidents have you had in your time of crafting? And I actually have had 2 very recently, one of which was today. Thus my thought process about crafting accidents. So today I was punching out these flowers, and I use Stampin' Up! Product for the most part. And so I know from experience that especially for these punches that have several different things. How should I call it? Like layered things, you know, so one punch punches out all three different size flowers and the one leaf. And when you have that type of a punch, I know from experience that things can fly. So here's what it looks like down here. And I was punching out this craft paper, and I'll just show you what that looks like when I punch out this craft paper, because it's stiff and it will fly, which has happened to me before. I'm familiar with that. That part is not a biggie. But what happened today was a first. So I'm actually going to go ahead and use this image here, and whoops, I have the leaves sitting there too. And I'm actually going to need some leaves, so I'm going to punch out some of those. I decided not to use this image. Okay, so let's punch out some leaves. I'm just going to punch the detailed one out, actually. And then I'll get on with my story. All right. So we've got the punch here, and you have to line it up. And the way this paper is, it doesn't want to line up. Let me do some trimming. And you're like, come on, get on with the story. Okay, so now it's lined up, and I kind of try to hold it away from me because I know everything's going to go flying. Boom, stuff went flying. Now, because this particular piece only didn't have anything cut out, there were no tiny pieces. There were just the pieces that I was expecting. But say I wanted to cut over here to get another flower, and I punch, boom, then we've got little pieces flying. And just so happened that I must have had it really tilted towards me, and one of these little pieces almost went up my nose. In fact, at first I was afraid it went up my nose. I immediately stopped breathing and checked to make sure that it hadn't gone up my nose, because I am over 60 years old, and I just couldn't imagine the humiliation and the embarrassment of going to the emergency room with something that is akin to taking your 3-year-old there because they put a marble up their nose. So I don't know how believable it would be that I was just simply crafting and a piece of craft paper went up my nose. I'm pretty sure it would be, but really, that would be embarrassing. In fact, look how small that piece is right there. I think a person could possibly breathe that up if all the stars were in line and the moon and everything, and you go to stamp and the size of the cardstock is small enough, and you breathe in at the same time, maybe even take a deep breath because you know, sometimes when we're crafting, we're so focused that we forget to breathe sometimes, and you're just like, oh yeah, I needed a breath. Oh no, there goes a piece of cardstock up my nose. So anyways, I thought I would just share that story because freak accidents do happen. Now, the other thing that happened about a month ago, I would say, and this has never happened to me before. Oops, sorry, bumped the camera. Is I was cutting cardstock, and I don't know what I did, but somehow with this particular trimmer, I got my finger under there. How did I do that? And let's see, do I have a scar here? Nope, it's all healed. I think that's it right there. I cut my finger right there, and it was like good quarter of an inch, and it drew blood and it hurt. And I was like, how did I do that? Never did that before. Never heard of anybody else doing that before. And I have heard of folks, like I said, I use Stampin' Up! Products, so that's pretty much my experience that I deal with. I was watching a video that a gal did one time, and she had the Stamparatus, which is a placement tool, and it has two really, really heavy duty magnets. And she actually pinched her finger really, really bad with those heavy duty magnets. So anyways, I can hear my hubby just pulled in, and we live in a travel trailer, and the front door is not working well right now, so we use the back door where I'm at. So he's going to be coming in here in a minute. And that's what RV life is like, keeping it real. I'm doing a video, hun.
Sorry.
No, sorry. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. I gotta go back out. So.
No worries.
You want your coffee now?
You could just leave it out there. I'll be done in a minute.
I'll make it up for you.
Thank you. So he went to Starbucks to get me a coffee and a cream cheese Danish, because I love those cream cheese Danishes. So it appears that the live chat feature is available on this video, and I know that it works because I always wonder if I don't have enough subscribers for certain features to work with my YouTube lives. But the other day somebody did chat at me, so I think it was during the video. Yeah, it was. And so I now know that the live chat feature does work, even though I don't have even 100 subscribers. But I'm working on that. I'm trying to post consistent content and content that has interest to it. So I'm working on it. Okay, so I was in the process of separating my flowers so that I could start to put some flowers together. Now, because I did some more flowers, some of these are damp, so we'll just work with the ones that aren't damp. Okay, here we go. We can make quite a few flowers with this. Just gotta decide which side I want to use. I'm gonna use art glitter glue for this, I think. And we're just going to layer these flowers together to make a cute flower. So for this one, I'm using the ones that I stamped and then colored with saffron ink. Okay, so I'll lay that one to the side to dry. Move on to the next one. These are just stamped and coffee dyed. So another thing that I like to do, but I haven't been able to do recently because I've dropped my stylus tool in this this trailer somewhere, and I haven't been able to find it. I suspect that it's under this storage unit. So I'm trying to think what else I have that I could do what I want to do with. Let's try the tip. Let's try the tip of this aqua painter. So what you need is something that's round, and you just go in the center, and it works good with something like a piercing mat. And you just move around in a circle, and it's wanting to do it a little bit. Push and then move around in a circle, and what it does is it pulls the petals up, but it would be so much easier with the right tool. This plastic is just too flexible, and the stylus tool that comes with the scoreboard for the Stampin' Up! Scoreboard is metal. Alright, that one's actually already pushed up quite a bit. So another thing you could do that is fun, I'm going to turn around here and get my dimensionals. Another thing that you can do that is fun is take one of these dimensionals and put it in the center, and then put your next flower down, and then take another dimensional and put your other flower down. And so that just gives you some height dimension. I don't like the third one for this particular project, so I'm going to take that one off, and I'm going to put glue down, and lay the top one down with glue. Then I'll move that over to the side to dry. So one more thing before I go, let's talk about, let's put the lid on this before let's talk more about painting. So I'm going to get some green ink. And you can do this a couple different ways. So one is, I better put my pen in here before this dries all up. Ouch. There's another crafting accident. I poke myself with the needles all the time. What kind of crafting accident have you had while being creative? Okay, so I'm going to paint these sleeves. with the water painter. Very easy to do. Another thing you can do is you can take like alcohol markers, whoa, that one went a little crazy on me. Sometimes they do that. Or you can take a Stampin' Right marker and then these I will just fussy cut out. These are very easy to fussy cut. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off here off camera, and thank you for taking time to watch this video with me, and I will see. I'm terrible at closing a video, by the way, in case you hadn't noticed, but practice makes perfect. I will